What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. So, guys, the drama just got real. If you didn't know, Nicki Minaj went live on TikTok and pretty much called Doja Cat a loser and said that Cardi B needs to pay attention to her album.
Trace our footsteps, right? And that's the problem, you know. So busy worried about you and not worried about yeah. And so the lesson to be learned here is worry about yourself. Do what the fuck you have to do. Okay.
So, guys, as you know, Doja is kind of been known this year for dropping little snippets here and there. Like, she literally sits on IG and played, all the samples of her upcoming album. And it became a thing for Doja. Like, literally, she would be like, every other live dropping little snippets here and there of her songs.
So another one, look, there's like at least 25. And we're just narrowing it down, but these are definites right here. So I'm just going to play you a little piece. A little piece of each one. Here's one. Here's another one. Okay. And then we got some. Okay. And then we got a little bit of. Okay.
And the fans will be in the chat asking her to drop some more. Come on, let us hear one. And then she would sit on and sometimes play half the song or a whole song out, which I personally think that it's cool. It's very personal. I like to go on to the IG, and if someone is a musician, hear a little music. I mean, it just makes sense to me. But Nicki wasn't here for it.
To make sure I play a little moment of a couple songs soon. Let me think. Where should I play my snippets, y'all? Y'all want me to play my snippets on TikTok? Y'all want me to play my snippets on live? Instagram live? Y'all want me to what? TikTok, both. All right, well, I'll figure it out. You know what? Matter of fact, snippets are for losers.
I was so shocked when I heard Nicki say this, and I thought to myself, okay, maybe I'm grasping at straws, but no, guys, the snippet is clear. The intention behind it, of course, can be turned and twisted around if Nicki decided to explain herself, but I mean, it's gonna be really hard to pretty much prove that in this instance she wasn't directing that towards Doja. Nicki said, no, snippets are for losers. And then she laughed ferociously and maliciously. And in that moment, chills went down my spine because I knew that Doja and Nicki are no longer associated with each other. Now, there have been a lot of reviews of Doja's recent song, Paint the Town Red, where when people were getting their first impressions of it, there's a line in the song that really draws your attention. Nobody really that I have come across has mentioned it yet, but a few people were like, wait a minute, is that shade? Is that shade? Is she throwing shade? And then you have some other people saying, no. Doja is not throwing shade. She made it clear that she doesn't have beef with anyone because that is a waste of time. She said so in Attention. She said that she cares about the music. Okay, but what have we learned about Doja? Doja is a very complex human being, and she tries to, she tries to act like she's out of this world literally, but in hindsight, Doja is still a human being. And she'll say things in her song like there's no jealousy, or that she's paid homage to those before her, and then she will drop a song that says I don't need a feature or a little sidekick. So you do the math. Now, with that said, it's kind of weird because what reason would Doja have to come after Nicki after she showed so much love to her after all this time, right? I don't think, just to be clear, that she's coming after Nicki, but I do know for a fact that Doja is trying to establish an anti-Nicki image for her upcoming album. I mean, listening to the words on her rap, specifically, certain lines, like she says she doesn't need to wear a wig to make you like it. So basically, Doja's whole next era, her whole new album, is her being on a mission to prove that she doesn't have to follow the Nicki blueprint, that she's her own. But I think she's the one who's just jumped off of the Nicki train. Now, I think that Doja is trying to find her own identity as a rapper, which explains why she has her own signature color now. As you know, in the beginning, Doja would have all these pinks, blues, like fairly feminine, Barbie-esque colors, which Nicki was known for. And then she'd often get compared to Nicki when you listen to the way that she raps, her tone and her flow. But in actuality, Nicki and Doja don't really sound the same to me. She already had her own flavor, but I think that she abandoned it because she didn't want to be compared to Nicki anymore. And in the song Attention, Doja admits that she got the blueprint. So she's just basically saying, I didn't invent the way that female rappers become famous. I learned from those before me. Now, she didn't specifically say Nicki, but who else would it be when you're constantly shouting out this one female and saying how you look up to this one female? You're obviously saying you follow the blueprint of Nicki.
I put a thong in my ass and taught you how to shake it. I paid all my respect to those who taught me how to make it.
Right? So enter Doja's red era. So strategically, Doja is trying to separate herself from the other female rappers and from the crowd.
I never learned a superstar from a textbook.
Doing everything to get rid of the blueprint, such as shaving her head and not wearing her wig, not wearing pink anymore. And Nicki is annoyed by the female rappers, quote unquote, following her blueprint, which one could argue that the blueprint was actually laid by Lil' Kim, but that's a whole nother video. And so it's just crazy. What female rapper out there is bringing uniqueness right now, is bringing individuality? In terms of female rappers who actually make it into the mainstream and have, popularity, that pink wig is the crown. And every one of them has donned it. It's a Lil' Kim, Nicki Minaj blueprint. A lot of them who are unique, specifically Tierra Whack, is coming to the forefront of my mind right now, but a lot of them who are unique are not being placed on the pedestal they deserve. So in terms of being successful and getting a hit album and being at the top of the charts, the female rappers are going to have to stop being clones and be more unique and let their imagination run wild, just like Doja does, just like Nicki does, just like Missy Elliott did, just like Lil' Kim did. When you looked at a Lil' Kim video, you were transported. You were in a whole other realm. In terms of people coming at Doja and giving her a hard time for changing her artistic direction, I actually welcome it because I am tired of seeing clones. Back in the day, there were so many different varieties of female rappers to choose from. You had Missy Elliott, you had Lil' Kim, you had Eve. Just none of them were the same, and that's what made them successful. So Nicki created this BBL Barbie female rapper image, and she created a monster, pun intended. With that said, although she's taking a rather unorthodox approach, Doja is making her own path and veering away from that pink print blueprint that Nicki laid that everyone is so stuck to. I don't think that that is loser activity. Do you?